Hey everyone, and welcome to Business Boutique. I'm Christy Wright, and today I've got some encouragement for you that is hopefully going to help you pick yourself up after you've fallen short. Now, I want to give you an example of something that happened to me a few months ago, and I'm going to go ahead and warn you, I'm probably going to cry because this is still near and dear to my heart. So I was hanging out at my friend Ashley's house for a cookout. We were all celebrating, hanging out in the backyard. It was beautiful weather, and all of our friends were there. Our friends, the couples, the kids, everybody's playing in the backyard. Now, let me just paint this picture for you guys. Their house sits quite a far way back off the road, okay? So they've got a really big, long front yard. They've got a driveway that goes alongside the front yard and the house, and it wraps around to the back to a patio and a large backyard. So we're all in the back. We're all hanging out. We're eating barbecue. My husband had been watching the boys while I was eating, and I said, babe, I've got the boys. Why don't you go inside and get some food? I wanted him to kind of take turns so he could actually relax and eat a plate of food. So I'm standing in the back, talking to my friends. Keep in mind, it's all pretty self-contained because the patio is behind the house and the only way to the front of the house is down the driveway, which is totally blocked with cars. So you'd have to almost squeeze between the cars and the bushes to even get out, and no one was trying. So we're all hanging out. Music is playing. The kids are playing with bubbles. Everyone is having a great time. I went to throw my plate of food away. I was talking to my friend, and the next thing I know, I see my husband running out the back door, down the side of the house to the front of the house. And as soon as I saw him dart past me, I knew what had happened. Conley had run off. Conley is my second child. Conley is the reason I have gray hairs every single day because he just tends to go for the dangerous. He pushes the limits. I love that about him, and it drives me crazy. Well, of course, I took off after my husband, ran down the driveway, and my son Conley was standing at the end of the drive with his toes on the street as cars are flying by. We got him. Nothing happened, but it was my fault. I was supposed to be watching him. We grabbed Conley and walked around back, but I want you to know that I cried the rest of the day. Didn't just cry, cried and just lived in this place of feeling like a failure, feeling like could have lost my son that day. It was my fault. How could I be so stupid? What must my husband think? What must my friends think? On and on and on, beating myself up about the mistake I made. Now, I want to be clear. The mistake I made is not okay. But how I lived in that shame all day was not okay either. As I was praying throughout the day, praying and crying and praying and crying, I felt God say to me, Christy, we're a team. Conley is my son too, and I'm going to help you. When you fall short, I'm going to be there. There's grace for you in your mistakes. So I just want to remind you, friends, when you have these voices in your head, when you make a mistake or you slip up and you're just beating yourself up and that broken record is on repeat of how terrible you are and what a failure you are and how you'll never amount to anything and how you'll never get it right and how bad it could have been, when that broken record is going, I want you to stop and ask yourself a question. Is this what God says about me? First and foremost, God is loving. So if the thoughts you're feeling or the words you're hearing in your mind are not loving, I promise you they're not from God. And I know that all day, every day, we've got a lot of thoughts and a lot of feelings and a lot of reactions to everyone around us. But I want you to remember that at the end of the day, the most important words that you hear, the most important identity that you take on is that you are a loved, chosen daughter of the King of the universe. He loves you, and you and I can live in that. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you need a little bit more encouragement in what God says about you, well, you can download my free 7-day devotional by clicking the link below.